Hello and welcome to another video from the Dus Watch Dude. This time, not only one, but I have two watches here in front of me, both Shanghai watches. Of course, that are Chinese watches. Actually, two watches that have a lot in common, but are also quite different. For example, the color and the layout. I will start with the one that I bought first, the white one. So I will put away the little black one for a little bit and I will focus on this little fella. This watch is also the biggest of the two, of the largest. It is a 719 jewels manual watch, so you have to wind it every day. The power reserve is not that good. It is good enough to, it's very usable, don't get me wrong. But if you're used to automatic watches with a power reserve that have 40 hours or more, this is a little less, probably around 32, 35 hours. Normally I wind my watches once a day because I always think, I'm not sure if I'm right, and you can correct me in the comments, but I think if a watch is running, it keeps lubricated, and if you put a watch down and you don't wind it, the oil and the lubrication will set on your mechanical parts and it will probably not be good. A running watch, I sometimes compare it with a hard drive. A hard drive will work way longer if you always keep it running. Starting it up and spinning it down will actually give more wear on your drive than when you keep it turning all the time, like in a server solution. The same, I think, will be or can be said for watches. If they are always running, they always keep lubricated, and of course there will be a little bit wear, but yeah, probably not enough to compensate it. Back to the watch. The back is, I think, pressed on. I didn't try it. If it is a pressed on watch, I will try to focus on some of the inscriptions. It actually tells where it is made in the Shanghai factory. It has a serial number 712921. I'm not exactly sure what it stands for, if it has anything to do with the movement number, the part number of the watch, or actually no idea. What I do know is it feels nice and solid. It has an acrylic crystal. You can hear it. So that has its good things and it has its bad things. I will lay it down for a little bit because then I don't have to hold it all the time. I try to zoom in a little bit. And of course, a lot of people are probably still wondering why I just show the watches and not myself. I will tell it again. It's about the watch, not about me. And the watch look better than me, so why should I do it anything else, of anything different than I'm doing now? The case of the watch is made from stainless steel. You can actually see it. It's nice, it's polished, it looks good. Sharp edges, no damages. I have it now for, I think, 4 or 5 months. I have it a little bit longer. I wear it every now and then, not that often. I think it has a lot in common with King Seiko. If you talk about design, of course, not about quality and not about reputation or anything like else, but the design is pretty much similar. As you can see, the markers are applied to the dial and it is actually done really nice. There is no loom on the watch, so yeah, that is something that you have to keep in mind if you think you can buy a watch that will work in the dark. I mean, the watch will still work in the dark, only you can see that it is working. So yeah, it is a watch for day use, but it is a nice simple design, nothing fancy. There is no date window. The only thing you have is the white dial, and it is actually a nice finish. You can see the minute markers between the hour markers, very well lined up. No design features on it, nothing fancy. What I like is the little red dot on the second hand. It's a small second hand. A lot of watches have a long second hand that actually will reach to the end of the case. In this case, it just reads the markers, and it actually gives the watch an old-fashioned, yeah, what shall I say? It looks a little bit vintage. It has a vintage look over it, but the watch is not that old. They say it's new old stock, but probably that's just marketing. I mean, don't forget, when I bought it was only 34 or 39 euros. I'm not sure about it. It's no longer for sale, I've just found out, because to get the specifications of this watch, I was looking at the store where I bought it, and I see there is no longer are they offering this watch, so it's probably out of stock. The watch is 39 millimeters, so it's actually quite large for a Chinese watch. I found out Chinese watches are probably a little bit the same as most Chinese people. They are a little bit smaller than average. This is a very nice size. I can wear it easily. I also have to say the strap that I put on is not the strap it came with. People that are following the channel probably know that I change a strap mostly even before I try the watch, because I don't like cheap straps and I don't like ugly straps. This strap is cheap but not ugly, so it is just usable for me, mostly because I don't wear this watch every day. It runs pretty well. I think it's losing about a minute a day, around that. And on average, I can say if I don't wear it for a week, 2 weeks, it will be a few minutes slow or fast. That depends. Even it depends even on the weather. So yeah, it's not the most accurate watch, but it is a nice watch. It's a watch you can wear every day. The water resistance is probably none. I did not try it. I used it outside. I used it when I washed my hands, because if I wear watches, I always use them, and I'm try to forget that I'm wearing a watch, because if you have to live to, yeah, keep your watch in one part, that is not the way you should wear a watch. So I just do my normal things while wearing a watch, and till now it's still working. Can I say anything more about this watch? Yeah, well, I can try. I have here some of the original specifications. Yeah, 3 bar water resistance, just like I said. Just keep it dry. It's 11 meters thick. The dial diameter is 39 millimeters, and the lug size is actually 20 millimeters, and that is quite good, because you can use almost every strap most people have around on the watch. Smaller watches often have a lug size of 18 or sometimes 19 millimeters, and that is really a pain in the butt, because I don't have that much straps for those sizes. 20 millimeter, 22 millimeter, even 24 millimeter. I have a few boxes full of them, but the smaller sizes are always a pain. Gonna take this watch away, and I'm gonna replace it to something more fun. Another watch from the same factory. I see, oh, there's a reflection. I thought I already made it really dirty. This watch, same factory, Shanghai. Same movement, I think, because it also have 19 jewels, and all other watches that I found on Ali has 17 jewels or less. So probably it has the same movement. The back of the watch is the same and it has the same numbers on it, so it's probably just the same movement. One thing you directly noticed on this watch is the second hand. The second hand is a rocket or an airplane. I'm not sure. I'm not that much at home in Chinese aviations, but the shape of the hand and the little rocket are actually making it a very, very cool watch to watch, to wear, and it is a nice conversation piece. The little airplane is actually lined up very well, because if you look, it really follows the minute indexes of the second indexes, is it actually, and it's, I think, hardly ever outlined. The indexes are painted on the dial. There is no fancy inlays, just that the other watch had, but that doesn't matter. The watch is just a very nice piece because of the second hand, but also the shape of the case. It's also stainless steel, but it is a little bit like an custom, how do you say it, a pillow shape case. It's a little rounded. It's not square, not round. It's actually quite a nice size. I will remember, yeah, the size is 36 millimeters, so it's a few millimeters smaller than the other one. Still good wearable. I can try it, but then I have to compare it with the Seiko, the Grand Seiko. The Grand Seiko is 39.5 millimeters. Excuse me. This one is 36 millimeters and thickness with 11 millimeters. The lux size is 19 millimeters. Even they list it as 18, but I found out it's 19 millimeters, and that is actually not handy, because I had to order a decent strap for it right away, because the strap it came with was probably made from dead birds or something like that. I never seen a strap as bad as that one. Another thing that I notice is what I also did notice on the pictures on the site when I bought it. There is, for some reason, I hope I can show it a little bit, a little gap between the crown and the case. First I thought it was a problem with my watch, but I see all pictures of this watch, if it is in black dial, white dial, because this one comes in four different dials, two different colors and two different layouts, but they all have the same strange configuration with the crown. It sticks a little away from the case, and it's not a problem. It winds well, it sets time very well, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it looks like the stem is too long, so it doesn't fit. But as long all watches that I have seen on the internet have the same problem, it's probably a design thingy, and maybe somebody can explain me why they did it, or it's just that they had a huge amount of stems that were a little bit too big, and they used them to get rid of them. And you can say what you want, but Chinese people are quite clever, and they make money because they think a lot. They don't throw away stems and order new ones, but they just use what they have. This one is actually sold as NOS, new old stock. If it is true, I don't know. It also has a plexiglass crystal. This one, unfortunately, has some fault in the crystal. It's hard to see, but if you look to it in the right angle with the right light, you can see there is something in the crystal or underneath the crystal. Now I can actually see it. It's just below the hour hand, the minute hand. You see a little spot, and it's in the crystal or it's on the inside of the crystal. I'm not going to take it apart because I'm pretty sure the watch will not survive that. And This is more a showpiece for my collection than a watch that I actually wear. I wear it every now and then. It is actually running very well, just the same as the other one. Also the same handicap. It doesn't have a power reserve like I used to have. It is something around 35 hours. But again, it's probably the same movement, so you get the same power reserve also. The price of this watch is something I can tell because it's still available. It's a little bit more expensive than it was. It's around 60 euros at the moment. That's including VAT, our local tax. And in dollars, it will probably be around $75. If it is really a NOS new old stock watch, then it is actually in bargain. I think even without that, it is just a very nice watch for the money you pay for it. If you put them together, you actually also see the difference between the crown. This one is directly next to the case and it's very clear. The black one has a little gap between the crown and the case. The case is a little bit smaller, but still wearable because of the shape. And the dial is, yeah, as I told you, 3 millimeters smaller than the white one. Both came on a very cheap strap, so keep in mind if you buy this watch and you don't have a nice strap for it already at home, just order a nice strap with it. I bought both watches on Aliexpress, and Aliexpress sells like a zillion watch straps. And if you look around, you can buy great quality straps for almost nothing. I just ordered some straps for my Grand Seiko, and for like 25-30 euros you buy straps that you have to pay locally around 100-150 euros. People sometimes forget if you buy them in China from AliExpress, especially if you buy them at the factory stores, you cut out the middleman, so you actually buy directly from the factory, and that saves you so much money. And that money you can easily use to buy more watches, because yeah, what's more important in life than buying more watches? I will think of a few things. I think that is all I can say about those two watches. I'm not gonna give away one of those watches. I still gonna give away my Seiko that I posted yesterday, the fake Seiko, don't get me wrong, and not the one I had in the video for a little bit. I will tell you later how I gonna do that, because it is an easy one to win and it's a nice one to have, and I cannot sell it because I don't sell fake watches. I will come to that later. For now, I hope you enjoy this video. You have seen the watches, you probably want to buy them. I will not provide links for the simple reason nobody is sponsoring me, and I don't kind of advertise for shops and stores that don't sponsor me, and I don't need sponsoring, so I don't gonna do it for free, because that, I think that is weird. Sometimes I mention a store if it is something interesting or thanks to the service of that store. I believe in karma, so if people treat me nice, I have no problem to mention a store, but I will not provide links. That is not cool. I hope to see you soon in another video, because right after this I'm gonna make another one about another handwind watch, but one that is a lot bigger and actually even more cool. We come to that later. For now, thank you for watching, and if you like the videos, please follow the channel. If you like watches, follow me on Instagram at dutswatchdude, and if you like to be notified if I upload a new video or I have something interesting to tell, just hit the little bell and you will be notified. Have a nice day, and I hope to see you soon.